Go ahead and get started. So this is going to be the second league of the day. I played some Traverse Shadow earlier today for those of you watching on YouTube. You can go find that video somewhere else on my channel, likely going to be in the Modern Playlist section, or you can just check the most recent uploads and you can view that there. But this is the other subscriber deck list I'm playing this week that fortunately lines up perfectly with my Philadelphia testing for SCG Philly this weekend. I am going to be the legacy seat for my fantastically broken team, and Temur Delver is a deck that is on my radar as a deck that I may potentially play. So I'm going to do some last minute testing of some Temur Delver, and like I said, that lines up with a subscriber deck list as they wanted to see me play some Temur Delver. So here we are. This is about as stock as I guess you can consider Temur Delver right now, as this is the list that got second in the Grand Prix Atlanta. A Grand Prix I did attend. I played Jeskai Mentor in that tournament and finished in the top 32, but there were multiple copies, I think, of Temur Delver in top 8. I think there were two. There's two Temur Delver and two Black Ring Depths, I think. I think they were the only repeats, but maybe wrong. Either way, not particularly relevant. But either way, Temur Delver is widely considered to be the best deck in the format right now. There's a lot of hype behind Wrenn and Six, and I don't know, it's a deck that's put up a lot of results. It absolutely crushed the Legacy Classic in SCG Syracuse, despite only having, I believe, one copy in top 8 of the actual Open itself. There was like 4 copies in top 8 of the Legacy Classic or something insane like that, and then 2 copies of Is It Delver on top of that. So just Delver Secret's a card near and dear to my heart, having won an Open with it. I'm glad to see it back in action and doing its thing. But this deck is a lot more mid-rangey than the previous Delver decks, and so as we dive in, I'm going to kind of talk about that and what's going on with that. So, who's playing Modern? Harlan on Urza? Sounds right to me. Harlan is definitely playing Modern. I don't know what version of Urza he's going to be playing, but that man is going to have Urza, Lord High Artificer, in his deck, I promise. Either way. So, diving into this Temur Delver list, you can see they've gone up a land from the traditional Delver paradigm. They're up to 19 lands from 18. That allows you to include the Fiery Islet in your deck as a potential spell. This pairs well with your Wrenn and Sixes, as it lets them, your Wrenn and Six plus to actually just draw a card, and increases your land count as you have more expensive threats now with the 7 2-drops you have in the deck. Now, this version of the deck is sporting Hexdrinker in its threat base. You have the typical Delver of Secrets, Tarmogoyf, and then you have Hexdrinker as a 1-drop. This is a development that I am a little reserved on, as it is a 2/1 creature at face value until you put 3 mana into it to give it protection from instants, which means it dies to Wrenn and Six in the mirror. Now, this is pretty big downside for the card, but for the versions that played more, like in these spots, played like a Dreadhorde Arcanist and a 3rd True Name, those decks had such a high curve with their threats that their Dazes were much, much worse in the versions that I was testing previously. And so that does make me sold enough on having another 1-drop threat in this deck that I am willing to give this card a try. But I'm still very skeptical on it, given that it has not looked particularly good in the Temur Delver matchups I've seen, given that it kind of has to be a 4-drop in that matchup so you don't get it killed by this. So you can play a Hexdrinker and then level it up 3 times the turn you play it. And I mean, Wrenn and Six is the most important card in the mirror specifically anyway, and usually the last person having a Wrenn and Six in the Temur Delver mirror is going to be victorious. But that's neither here nor there. Hexdrinker is a card I definitely have my eye on as we're playing through this league. We have the traditional 3-drop, 3 Volcanic, 4 Wasteland, 6 fetches. Or it's more than 6 fetches, it's 8 fetches, right? Yeah, it's 8 fetches. Mana base, pretty stock. Rest of the deck, pretty stock. 4 Brainstorm, 4 Ponder, 4 Delver of Secrets, 4 Tarmogoyf, 4 Daze. For these interactive spells that aren't Lightning Bolt, because you always start with 4 Lightning Bolt, you have 2 Spell Pierces, which is pretty traditional, and you have 2 Spell Snares. 2 of them is higher than normal. I think normally I see these decks playing like 1-ish, but I mean, the card's very good. There's a lot of 2-drops being played in the Legacy format right now, and so especially in like I said, this mirror-ish style matchup where you're going to want to counter a Wrenn and Six even in the late game after they maybe have gotten a couple extra lands because you're playing more lands now, then they may be able to play around Spell Pierce. You still want to be able to Spell Snare those Wrenn and Sixes, and Tarmogoyf is very powerful in the mirror as well, given that you can't kill it with Lightning Bolt most of the time. So Spell Snare particularly well positioned in a format full of Temur Delver. Not surprised to see that player on 2 Spell Snares, and 2 Spell Pierces. Lots of 1-mana interaction. Then you have your 7 2-drops. You have your 4 Tarmogoyfs, 3 Wrenn and 6. I think there's a real argument for playing the 4th Wrenn and 6. The card is so powerful in this deck that I could definitely see playing the 4th, but I'm willing to give it a try at 3. I mean, it is pseudo-legendary, and it doesn't really play your main game plan. This is what allows you to kind of do the mid-range game plan, right? This is a 2-mana card advantage engine that doesn't really do anything for the tempo because it doesn't impact the board directly unless you're able to kill a creature with it. So the turns you're playing it and you're plussing grabbing a land, that's tempo negative because you're not impacting the board at all. And so that doesn't play to a Delver of Secret strategy very well. So it doesn't play your main game plan, and maybe that means you only want 3, but the card is busted, so, and that's the only reason we're able to just slot it into Delver, even though it doesn't play the main game plan, because the card's just broken in half. Rounding out the threat base, you got 2 True-Name Nemesis, also another broken card, much easier to cast with Wrenn and 6, so maybe you do want a 3rd, but the card's very powerful. A little worse in the face of as many Plague Engineers that have been going around, so maybe it's not as good as we think, but this card has had a high impact on Legacy since its introduction to the format. 4 Force of Will stock, and then 2 more Modern Horizon cards, because we don't have enough of them in our deck. We have a Force of Negation and a Magmatic Sinkhole. Magmatic Sinkhole mostly to kill Tarmogoyfs, I imagine. Also kills like Eldrazi and stuff around Chalice of the Void, but like I said, and it kills Wrenn and 6s, but mostly, I imagine, for killing big creatures like Tarmogoyf that Lightning Bolt otherwise cannot. And the 5th Force of Will-ish in the form of Force of Negation, it makes a lot of sense. Just more free interaction, very tempo positive, helps you protect your threats. Makes a lot of sense. All right. Okay, the sideboard. So the sideboard, we have a 6th Force effect, which is for the combo matchups, clearly. We do want access to Force of Negation, in like, for instance, it's like Black Red Reanimator, Storm, matchups like that, where having 0-mana interaction is going to be very relevant. 2 Pyroblast, been stock in Delver for many, many years. Good against like the blue fair decks that have like Jace the Mind Sculptor in them. Also very reasonable in the mirror for catching True-Name Nemesis. I mean, there's a lot of blue in Legacy. Don't have to talk too much about why Pyroblast is playable. Hydroblast is relatively new to the format and is seeing a lot more play than it was a year ago because of Wrenn and 6. Wrenn and 6 has made red like even better than it was before, and of course Hydroblast can line up against opposing Pyroblast and can just flat out destroy Wrenn and 6 no matter how much loyalty it has, and that's a very attractive thing that Hydroblast has to offer. So a lot better than it's been previously, but yeah, it's very, very good in the deck. Vapor Snag, almost exclusively for killing Merit Lages. There may be some matchups where we want to bring it in, like a Knight of the Reliquary deck, for instance, where you just kind of want to bounce the Knight as well, but I guess Knight of the Reliquary decks usually have Dark Depths as well. But the point is, this is usually for Merit Lage, can flex to other, like, big, expensive creature matchups, but in general, very, very narrow, and generally just for that. We have... Let's look at the surgicals next. Let's just move all this over here. And then we have 2 surgical extraction. These are very good against red-black reanimator, dredge, life from the loam decks, anything obviously using the graveyard, playable in Legacy for a long time. Usually Legacy sideboards start with 2 Pyroblast, 2 surgical extraction if you're in a, like, especially if you're in a Delver deck. So it's very stock, nothing insane, nothing crazy. We're not off the deep end with any of this. 2 Grafdigger's Cages is pretty interesting. That's a lot more graveyard hate than I was expecting in a Delver sideboard. But I guess they're just tired of losing to Hogak and Depths. So here we are. 2 Cages, 2 Surgicals. Also very good against like Storm, for instance. Good against Green Sun Zenith decks. Like Elves, it was very good against Elves back in the day because it caught Natural Order and Green Sun Zenith. But more graveyard hate. Gonna beat the crap out of Hogak, which is seeing a rise, seeing a lot of dredge, seeing a lot of black red reanimators. So more graveyard hate. Don't hate to see it. Next up, we got Crop Rotation Karakas. We'll talk about this package together. This is mostly once again for Merit Lages. Can also come in against red black reanimator, just to bounce like Grizzlebrands and stuff like that. Just move them out of the way so you can get a lethal attack or something. Is something that might actually be viable. Probably better than some of these main deck cards that are just stupid beaters or lightning bolts. But primarily, once again, 4 depths. Black-green depths are really popular deck in Legacy, and you have to play some pretty specific answers to answer a 2020 Legendary Indestructible token. So here we are. Crop Rotation, Karakas, little package. Also, you can bring Crop Rotation in the mirror to just like respond to Wasteland and pseudo counter it. It's like, it acts like a stifle for Wasteland, and you can tutor up your own Wastelands as well. So that's a neat little trick you could do with Crop Rotation, but in general, these are kind of brought in together. Next up, we got some artifact hate. Engineered Explosives kind of counts because it can hate on artifacts, but in general, these are all kind of in the same vein of artifact enchantment hate. This is at its best against Storm, being able to shut down petals and LEDs, Also very good against like the Sasser's deck that is trying to use Voltaic Keys and Grim Monoliths. So Null Rod in a pretty good position. Ancient Grudge, a little better against like the Stoneblade decks where like they can just make a Batterskull token and Null Rod doesn't do a whole lot. Also very good against Ensnaring Bridge decks. So think like Ensnaring Bridge, Batterskulls, where that card's going to be better. Cindervines blows up enchantments. So like the Mentor deck's a great example where like you're going to want to blow up Blood Moons, Back to Basics, stuff like that. It blows up enchantments. Also, maybe the static text can matter against like a Storm deck or something, but I'm not overly excited about that. It's just kind of incidental hate. If we maybe bring it in against Storm because it might do enough if we're interacting with them, but I don't know. I'm not overly excited about it against Storm, believe it or not. I kind of want it mostly as an overpriced Destructive Revelry. Also kind of good against the Miracles deck that wants to cantrip a lot and just let the game go on forever. When you're restricting them down to 20 spells, that really helps a lot, actually. I think that's probably much better against like the Miracles decks. Whew. Last but not least, we have a sweeper in the form of Engineered Explosives. Very good against like the Humans deck and some of the other like go wide creature decks. Death and Taxes, it's fantastic against just being able to pick up multiple creatures at the same CMC. Putting it on 2 does have a real cost in this deck, given that we have so many 2-drop interactive like spells. This also does answer Chalice of the Void. So Engineered Explosives is just one of those flexible cards, but at a very expensive cost. But we have more lands, and we have Wrenn and Six to kind of help pay the cost of Engineered Explosives. So the flexibility is probably well worth it. All right, any questions before we dive in? Is the Sasser's deck real? You rolled your eyes. I mean, I just don't like it. It's like kind of miserable. It's like a real deck, but it's just like kind of miserable. It's just like, it's kind of like Artifact Belcher for the most part. Legacy League. All right, here we go. Diving into some Temur Delver matches. Now, the other downside to the Temur Delver deck becoming more mid-rangey is that it now takes like much longer to win. Don't forget the Thalia EE interaction. That's also very good. You can still put pay 2 mana for your EE on 2 because Thalia's extra payment thing allows you to pay another color for it without actually paying it into the X. You're paying the extra cost for it using another color, which is pretty cool. So you're casting an EE for X is 1 and paying the extra cost with another color. Pretty adorable. What do you mean? It's just wildly inconsistent? Kind of. I mean, it's more that it's a linchpin deck, right? It's like it has 8 relevant cards, and those are Karn and Mystic Forge. And it actually, only way to win the game is with Karn. So if you like Pithy Needle or Sorcerer's Spyglass Karn, then you just win. It's just like, it's like a very high variance deck. Maybe that's just not even the right word. It's just like, it feels like a Belcher deck where you're going to attempt to win on turn 1. And if your big 4-drop artifact gets forced, your deck is just like a lot of air. We're going to keep this. Hand's fine. Got cantrips, got force, got threat. Island's not a good sign. Hopefully it's a combo deck. Fox Lisk. What do we think Fox Lisk is on? Basic Island Ponder. They chose to shuffle. Yeet. Okay. Delver Secrets was a great pickup. So I think I'm just going to fetch a Trop and play a Delver. In case this is combo, this is like easily the best turn. But if it's like Miracles and they have a counterbalance coming, then I'm going to feel like a 5-head to not holding up this Spell Snare. But like I said, I think Island Ponder leans me towards combo. Because like most of the fair decks have snow-covered lands in their deck for Astrolabe. Let's grab the pretty Trop. Bloop. This thing. All right. It's all in and lose the force. I mean, yeah, not all the time because they play defense grids, but like it's just like a very, very, I guess inconsistent is kind of what the deck is. You think they're looking for a second land? Maybe I should have forced this Ponder. I don't think there's any universe where I force this Ponder, but I think there's kind of it's worth thinking about why we're not forcing the Ponder. And it's pretty attractive to force the Ponder if they don't have a second land. But because the force is our primary source of interaction, like our shields are kind of down while this Delver is like, well, we just like play our threat on turn 1. We just like kind of want to hold the force while we're playing to the board. We're trying to play this tempo game, and forcing a Ponder is tempo even. No, it's not. It's tempo positive because we traded with 1 mana. But, oh no. All right. They chose not to shuffle. Hit a flooded strand. Let's hope we flip this. Flip of Daze. Tropical Island. I do not want to reveal Tropical Island. No, thank you. Sure, we'll play it. We'll attack for 1. I don't know what the chances are we get Terminus Star, but we have a force for it, so I'm just going to play the Tarmogoyf out. Tarmogoyf. Goofer! This, once again, can still be combo, but I want to turn the clock up a lot if it's combo. Hence how I'm playing this game. Alright. Maybe this is like a back to basics. They could grab like Island, something else. The fact they grabbed Island off Flooded Strand means it's much less likely to be like Miracles. So, hey, Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal. We're probably dead. I was thinking it was going to be Sneak and Show, not Storm, but I guess Storm makes sense. Oh, it is Sneak and Show. Well, okay. Get Spell Pierced, idiot. If it's Flush or Storm, I don't feel dumb, but I imagine they Spell Pierced. Force Pitch, Brainstorm. Yikes. Okay, I guess. I guess we died. It'd be like that sometimes. There's a Grizzle Branch. Okay. They can't draw 7 more because we'll have a bolt. Yeah, they shouldn't. So now we're going to try to win this race somehow. Yes, I will reveal Brainstorm. So they hit me for 7. They're going to go to 16. We have 6 power, 9. We have 9 total. Blech. That is not good math. It is not good math at all. Tarmogoyf. Shuffle. So if we block bolts, are we drawing the bolt for a kill? I don't know. Probably not. All right. I guess we'll just pass. Why are we starting with Ponder, asking for the YouTube video? We're starting with Ponder because if we miss on a fetch land, the Ponder loses a lot of value. Like, we're looking for a fetch land anyway off this Ponder. Like, we're looking for a red source for Lightning Bolt. And so we let on Ponder to give us the maximum number of chances to find a fetch land. And the maximum upside when we do find the fetch land. Because we'll be able to use Brainstorm plus fetch to get a perfect Brainstorm. Can I put Delver in my Modern deck yet? No, you may not. This is a sneaky attack. All right, we're dead. I get it. I get it. We're dead. Okay. So, Sneak and Show. Sneaky Snow. All right. We want Force. We want Hydroblast. We want everything with the word Blast. They're a blue and red deck, and it has Blast in it. We want it. Null Rod's bad because they only have the artifacts. This is actually pretty good. They cantrip a lot. And we can blow up a sneak attack or a Blood Moon with it. So I'm actually very interested in this. Karakas. I like Karakas. I don't know if I want crop rotation, though. Maybe we'll put it in. Put it in. It's got to be better than something. Okay. On the surface, Wren's bad. Bolt's bad, but not that bad. 1-mana threats are good. Sinkhole sucks. Pierce is good. Snare is really bad. They have no 2-mana spells. So this is kind of where I'm at right now. We could bring in some surgicals, especially for like a True Name, which kind of sucks. Like, we have a lot of really mopey cards. Maybe we'll cut like 1 True Name for a surgical. Surgical's not great, but sometimes if they have intuition, you can surgical them. If you can force like 1 show and tell, you can like surgical them, and like that's like somewhat viable. It's not great. It's not great. But True Name is really bad. Also, we are going to 20 lands, which probably sucks. So I guess we should cut the Islet. Let's cut the Islet. For what? Another surgical? Sure. Surgical also can inform your counter war too. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try sideboarding like this. It might just be utter bullshit, but we're doing it. Snag, yeah, I don't think Snag's good enough because, especially because it can be countered, whereas like Karakas is a little better there. Nice. If this was one of these lands was blue, we'd keep it. All right, this hand's good. This hand's good. I might. It's really greedy, but part of me wants to bottom the other trop because I really want a red land. I think that's too greedy. We're gonna keep this. I like the multiple counter spells. I dislike the Tarmogoyf, I think. It's just like kind of slow for what we're trying to do here. So, like, we're going to want to hold up a lot of mana. And, like, we'd rather play our Savannah Lions on turn 1 and just be beating down with that. And, like, hit land drops, try to find another threat. Like, the way we want this game to play out, we want to play our 1 mana threat on turn 1, and then we're not going to want to tap out below, like, a land or two. Like, we're going to want to keep mana up for the rest of the game for the Spell Pierce and this Pyroblast. So, like, next turn, for instance, we're going to play... If we don't draw a land, we're going to play Tropical Island Ponder. Or we might just Ponder before Tropical Island, that way we can hold up red. But you get the idea. Well, we drew it because we're very, very, very talented. So, I think we're going to go ahead and level this up now. Because I think they're not very likely to go for it on turn 2. Especially post-board. So we're going to level this up. And we're going to attack with it. The next turn, we're going to have 2 counter spells up, and we're going to level it up 1 time. And we're going to hold this Ponder for a long time. I wanted to Ponder on 1. I think that is very incorrect. I want to get my threat in play, and I want to make it a 4/4 basically as quickly as possible. This is actually kind of nice, too, because if they, like, spew a Blood Moon and have an answer for the Spell Pierce, then, like, we're actually in really good shape. Alright. Yeet. Another land, eh? Alright, we're going to play this. We're going to level our thing up once. And then we're going to attack for 2. And we're going to hold up 2 counter spells. And then next turn we'll level it up once. And ponder, probably. Probably pondering. We definitely want to hold both of these up. The question is whether or not we're spell piercing this Brainstorm. Oh, they don't have it. Okay, never mind. ViralDrake, pondering on 1 would only be if we pitched Hexdrinker instead of Goyf. Yeah, I think the Hexdrinker is going to line up much better than Goyf. Because, like, look, Goyf would be a 0/1 this entire time. A braid. Yikes. We have Ponder in our deck. I mean, we have Ponder to find another threat. And I don't want to, like, we're pretty light on counter magic, so I think we just let that go. Now, the clock is... We did lose a serious clock there. But... I think it was worth it. Like, they have 6 cards in hand. Spewing the Spell Pierce, I feel like, just kills us. Whereas next turn, we have the 4th land. We can continue to hold up our counter spells. And we have access to our pot to find another threat. Okay, that is fine. I find all this to be acceptable. Exhibit A. Let's actually fetch. If they have blasts, we wanna be able to just blast it and like have them not be able to blast back. Red. Counter target spell if it's blue. Yeah, that one. Now we might get Flusterstormed here, but it costs them a pedal to do it, so. Force pitch Brainstorm. It is forced. 1 card left. Alright, let's Spell Pierce. Alright, we got it. Each. So as you can see, if we had pierced the braid, we would have died. Now, I think we can put shields down. They only have 2 cards left. I don't know how many more things they have. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that is so good. Alright. Top. No, we will not shuffle. This is like enough cantrips, and we picked up an extra piece of interaction that I'm willing to just like pass the turn and then spend next turn rebuilding with multiple cantrips. That's just good enough. I'm putting a lot of weight on the Spell Pierce, but if the Spell Pierce expires, we have a Brainstorm, so... To be fair, it may die anyway. I mean, yeah, of course you could die to the nuts. That's the thing about Sneakacho. It's like, playing in Sneakacho is always very high stress, because there's always a hand they can have that beats you. That is fun. What do you think of Leyline of Sanctity in the sideboard of Mardu Shadow? Yes or no? I plan on playing SCG Indy next weekend, and I can't decide if that will help. Well, what do you want it for? I mean, I don't know a ton about Mardu Shadow, but I'm willing to talk through the logic behind putting it in your deck with you. Rampaging Narwhals. Alright, we want this Brainstorm for sure, and I don't think we want this extra Ponder. So, maybe we do, maybe we don't. Let's just Ponder. They have 2 cards in hand. One of them is likely a fatty. And the other one, they chose to shuffle, so it's a random card. And given that they're hesitating, it makes me think that they have a blast. So the way they're pausing right here makes me think that they have a red blast. And I'm probably going to account accordingly. Ooh, that's nice. Top. And we can grab the Ponder too. That's just good deck building. No. Blue Delver. Alright. Now I suspect they're going to try to blast this at some point, and we're going to have to be okay with it, which is unfortunate. I also suspect that the Spell Pierce is about to expire. So, next turn, what we're going to do is we're going to probably try to get rid of it. Your opponent can EOT Cutting Wish and rip the Force to kill you. Sucks, am I right? Chad's so salty. He's a salty dog. Preordain. They're doing a lot of stuff. I need to figure out what actually they've been doing. They put one on top, one on bottom. So that's likely just another cantrip. They're likely just cantrip chaining here. Well, that is definitely what they are doing. What did they do? They put 2 cards on bottom. So it looks like they didn't find it. Which is nice. I think we do want to draw this Ponder. Do you want to reveal this? Yes. The question is what to do now. I know the top card is like a land, and I think it might even be another land after that. No, it was like Delver. Yeah, it was Delver, Ponder, land. So we know the top card's land, and we don't want it, which makes me want to just fetch and Ponder. Which means I have to hold the Brainstorm longer. Which kind of sucks. Maybe I'll just Brainstorm. Especially because the Spell Pierce is kind of expiring. Actually, no. We Ponder first without shuffling, I bet. Just make the Brainstorm better. Well, that Force is nice. Well, I'm glad we did this, because I really want to pick up this Force. Actually, I might just want both of these, because I kind of want to Wasteland them, too. Make the Pierce live. On top. On top. On top. No. So we can Brainstorm into the Wasteland them. I'm trying to figure out how much I prioritize Wastelanding them. Because, like, I really want to keep this Spell Pierce live, but I could just, like, fetch and hope to draw better cards. Also, we have 2 counterspells with Forge Pitch, Brainstorm, and Spell Pierce. No matter what, I think I'm just going to hold. I think we're just going to hold here. We're not going to Wasteland this turn, is I think my conclusion. I'm not sure Wasteland's worth it. Yeah, we're going to make that decision on Instep. Because if they make their land drop next turn, for instance, then we know that the Wasteland's not worth it. Whereas if they don't make their land drop, I think it's much more likely that I want it. Like in this position right here. I think I now want it. Let's go to combat. Attack for 3. They're probably going to kill us at some point. Hey-ya. Play that. Wasteland that. Float red. They didn't float red, so they do not have the blast. Okay. That's good, because that means these counterspells are more likely to work. Now, we do want to fetch before our next turn. Okay. Watch them just rip like a soul land or whatever. Just feel like an idiot. Damn it. Alright, well, they have 4 cards in hand. Alright, let's go grab the thing. Yeet. Yeet. Alright, let's see what you said about this. Burn and Mirror wouldn't be bad. Also a little bit of Jund. I mean, doesn't discard... Discard shards. No. Also ups against Titan Shift. Did that pop back up? I don't know. Narwhals. It sounds like if you're trading 1-for-1, like, they don't have to discard you if they basically took your leyline, right? Like, if they have one discard spell and they put a leyline in play, then basically the discard spell took the leyline, right? Like, they don't care that their leyline's dead because you're down a card. So, I don't know. It doesn't sound high impact enough. Like, all these matches don't even sound like they're bad matchups. I'd rather find some card advantage sources. So, I am probably not interested in Leyline of Sanctity in Mardu's Shadow. Alright, let's put... I don't know if I'm actually going to play this Tarmogoyf, because I think I want to play around soft permission from them. The thing is, if they kill my Delver, I feel like a 5-head, but the only way they do that is with, like, cracking this pedal, and I think I'm okay with that. Like, I'm willing to spend another turn if they're spending a card. So, like, they have to go for it here, and they know it. And they're just going to concede. Alright, so, yeah, I'm glad I didn't deploy the Tarmogoyf. And that game went very well for us. I was happy with that. A Braid is kind of tilting, but I think we still have enough critical mass of threats that it's fine. Cindervines still kind of sucks, but in my opinion, it's probably still better than something else. Okay, that's all I need to know. I won't waste sideboard slots with it. Yeah, like, even if you were to play it, you'd play, like, 1 or 2, which is just, like, it feels like you're wasting valuable slots. And like, Mardu has access to some of the best sideboard cards because you're in white, and it feels like you're just, like, wasting it with Leyline of Sanctity, to be honest. We can't beat the turn 1, but we have threats, Brainstorm, functional mana. There's no way we can mulligan this. They can turn 1 us, and we feel stupid, but there's no universe where you're mulliganing this against Sneak and Show. We're probably gonna Brainstorm on their end step, which feels really counterintuitive. But actually, we'll probably do it on their turn 2 end step, but still, because we want to land really badly. Another counterspell is a good pickup. especially to pair with this Spell Pierce. It's a really nice pickup. So we get to hold up 3 counterspells here in turn 1. Might also just bolt them on instep. Like, if this doesn't, like, if nothing happens here, I'm probably just going to bolt them to put an instant in the yard for a Tarmogoyf. And obviously do some damage. The one reason I'm hesitating is because I kind of want to take a draw step for Brainstorm, and we're not playing our Tarmogoyf on 2 anyway, so I may actually hold the bolt. Like, it's attractive to use your mana efficiently. What is this, a defense grid? Part of me wants to just Daze that. But I really want to put this Tarmogoyf into play. Damn it. If we were on the play, this would be so much easier to think about. Yeah, I think I'm going to Spell Pierce it. I really value getting my lands in play. And if they fight, we can Daze. Alright, they didn't fight. Well, that's the reason to have Spell Snare. Ooh, that Force was such a good pickup. Because now we have 2 free spells that we can hold up. That has to make it worth it, right? To play this Tarmogoyf. Like, we're not guaranteed a land. I don't want to spew this Brainstorm. We just, like, have this awkward clock otherwise. But picking up a Force to protect us is so nice. And really pays us off for using the Spell Pierce. So I think we're going to do this. Like, now shields are down a little bit. If they go for it here, and, like, the shields are definitely down. Cardenas 213, thank you much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Let's Daze picking up this tropical island. I expect them to Force. Yes. That is what I wanted to see. Alright, your Force happens. That's still in the stack. We'll force your thing. If you have double Force, we're dead. Alright, they did not. And the Wasteland? Ooh, that's such a good pickup. Wow, I feel so smart for picking up the Trop. Look at that. Notice how we picked up the Trop to keep our red land in place so we can play multiple red spells. And we picked up the Tropical Island, the Wasteland, which puts the 4th type in the yard, makes our Tarmogoyf a 4/5, and basically we're just geniuses. Any further questions? This makes it a nice, clean 2-turn clock, where we bolt them on instep. Ugh, it's so tempting to blast this, but I'm not going to. We're going to be disciplined. And we're going to bolt them on instep, and that'll make it clean 2 turns. Yup. Bolt you. You're at H. So they have to go for it this turn. We have a Karakas to move something out of the way. Their Grizzlebrand can't draw cards. Basically, we're just in great shape. We're in great shape. That crop rotation was a very good pickup. Now, I'm led to believe they have more counter magic in their hand because they pitched a Spell Pierce. Like, I'm led to believe they have more mana-intensive counter magic. But they didn't draw, like, if they drew a Soul Land there, there's a chance they could go Show and Tell with, like, one piece of, like, Flusterstorm or Spell Pierce up. But we managed to clinch it. It's not often I beat Defense Grid plus, like, Show and Tell in the next turn out of Sneak and Show. We had a very good hand there, and we drew very well. Good start. The old beating Sneak and Show. Traditionally, not the best matchup for Temur Delver these days, but much better for the 4-color versions that have discard, too. But their hands didn't really come together that well. And we drew very well. Really, the Force was the best pickup of the game? Yeah. Well, the thing is, the game would have played out differently because we would have just played our second land and passed, and then we would have had the Blast up instead of the Force. And so if they went for it, like, they maybe just don't go for it. It's just a different game. The game has a completely different texture. Turn 1 threat with Brainstorm and Daze is not something I'm mulliganing. This is at its best against combo. I don't know what web is on, but it's at its best against combo because we have 2 Dazes and a Spell Pierce, so like these cards are just like kind of at their best against combo. Also very good against like maybe a fairer deck that's very spell based, like think like Miracles probably, where we like these cards may be able to line up. Like Jeskai Mentor deck, this then would be very good there. Not great in the mirror. Will not lie. Not great in the mirror. Hexdrinker's been impressive so far, and it's done exactly kind of what I've wanted it to do, right? Even though it got abraded against Sneak and Show, it was still a 1-mana threat, and so I pitched the Tarmogoyf over it, whereas if it was another 2-mana threat, we'd be in a little bit of trouble. Sand is bread and butter. It needs a Wasteland, and then it's bread and butter. Flooded Strand. You got it. You got it. Alright. A second Hexdrinker. Ooh. Maybe we play that? Just kidding. We probably Brainstorm. Blue Brainstorm. They're fetching. We're likely dazing whatever this is. Yeah, I'll daze that. Ramps me if I don't draw the land. So, well, it doesn't ram me, but it lets me untap my land. If they daze back, we know what's up. Actually, if they daze back, we just play Hexdrinker. Force of Will, pitching True-Name. Okay. They're serious about that Brainstorm getting countered. You got it, Webb. I mean, it's not that bad of a force. Like, I probably don't have a second land. Or I'm missing something else, right? But, fortunately, I got to use my mana efficiently. I'll daze that too. Picking up this land. Like, we're not making land drops most likely, so I'd rather be, like, doing these kinds of things. Oh, they don't have no land either? Perfect. Perfect. That definitely favors us. There's a Wrenn and Six. I'm not interested in leveling up either of these Hexdrinkers until I can, like, do it all in one turn. I'm just going to hold up the Spell Pierce. No, they're stuck on one land. And we have a clean 4-turn clock, so... Not really in bad shape. Want to be able to Spell Pierce a Wrenn. Because this looks very mirror. Could be blue-red, but looks very mirror. Fine by me. Alright. Red land, one-time dealer. Red land! Oh, wow, what a tilt. Do we trade with a Delver? That is a question I do not know the answer to. I don't think so. Level up. I think I'm going to level up both of them and then make a decision next turn on what I want to do. Now, not holding up Spell Pierce here may bite me, but I think being able to... They missed. That's probably a land then. Not being able to just make one of these a 4/4 next turn, I think is a punt. So, yeah, it was a land. Let's see if they have Arcanist here. Oh, just another Delver. That's fine. Best draw, still a land. Delver Secrets. Do we think they have another Bolt? Yeah, we'll level up. Do we think they have another Lightning Bolt? It's pretty blowouty if they do. For that reason, do I want to play my Delver of Secrets? And get on the board, make attacking worse for them. I think so. I think for that reason, we do want to play Delver of Secrets. I'd swing first. I'm not attacking into their Delvers. I think my Hexdrinkers are worth more than their Delvers are. Because they can be 4/4s. Now, they're going to Brainstorm to flip their Delver. Oh, they have a Dismember? Alright, that's fine. Them paying 4 life is big. So, like, even if they flip their Delvers, we're in good shape. Flip off Stifle. That's frustrating. Okay. Because they can't really attack. They're so behind on life. I would be shocked to see an attack here. They're so behind on life. Yeah, they can't. Do you want to reveal this card? I do not. Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf's one of the best draws possible, so if they have a counterspell, they're definitely going to be interested in countering that. Yeah, Tarmogoyf is probably the best draw that wasn't a land. Red land is the absolute best, but the best that isn't a land is Tarmogoyf, because it lets me still go wide while we're taking draw steps here. Alright. No True-Name or anything. They pitched that earlier. Tarmogoyf. Do I want to reveal this card? I do not. I think I'm willing to level up this Hexdrinker now. And attack with both. That gets me bolted. There's no creature in yard, right? No, there is. There's land, creature, instant. There's no sorcery. Okay, there's no way to get sorcery in the yard. They're not... The thing is, they're not dead in 2. That makes you just want to play the other Tarmogoyf. Maybe I should attack with first Tarmogoyf. They double block, trade. No, let's just play the other Tarmogoyf. They drew a counterspell of some kind? Daze. Cool. Okay. No, we will not pay for Daze. We're a sorcery away from being able to trade with both of their Delvers, so next turn we're going to hope to draw a sorcery. I don't know. Maybe I have missequenced this game. Now they have green mana. That's rough. Because that Stifle is still looming for sure. Wrenn and Six. Gross. Okay. And suddenly, Wrenn and Six swings the whole game. Yep. And I get very punished for having not done the thing. They are at 7. Delver's going to need to flip, though. Yes, I'll flip Delver. Alright. Blue, let's Brainstorm. Perfect. Alright. Do we want to keep the Wrenn and Six? I don't think we do. We'll get rid of a Delver and a Wrenn and Six. Go grab Magmatic Sinkhole, kill Wrenn and Six. I could just Magmatic Sinkhole the Wrenn and Six. That doesn't seem great. Maybe it is good, because it makes our Tarmogoyf a 4/5. Okay. I don't think our Wren's very good. I do think our Delver is fine. So they're going to stifle. We're going to spell pierce that. If they have Daze, we're in big trouble. But I don't think they do. Alright. Red. And then we're going to Sinkhole this and attack out at them. Sinkhole this. We need to keep our Delver large, so we should need to keep creature in the yard, I think. So let's get rid of some instants. 3, 4, 5. Pay 1 red. Alright, shoot that. Combat. And we'll attack with both. They can double block. We kill both. They take 3. So they can double block Tarmogoyf. That trades both Insectile Aberrations for the Tarmogoyf, and we get to keep a Delver. And I'm happy with that trade because it's a 2-for-1. And we have a Delver backup. So like if they do that, we can still present lethal. I think they are incentivized to double block. I really dislike this block by them. Because it means they're taking 4 going to 3. They still die. They still done a bolt for the rest of the game, and they have to find a way to check a Tarmogoyf. How has Hexdrinker been? Hexdrinker's been very good. I mean, it's very bad. Huh? Is that an aspect of the sublist, or is it a card you like in this archetype? It's just part of the sublist for the most part. This is a 4/4. Well, here it is on the opposing side, and we're going to get to see how it is. I mean, we're definitely going to attack with Tarmogoyf, and we're definitely going to kill the Hexdrinker. So, if we draw a bolt, we're just in insane shape because they die. Bolt at any point kills them. Fiery Islet. Alright. Crack this to draw a card. Ponder. You can also chump. Alright, let's ponder, look for a bolt. Dang. Multiple bolts. Nope. Bolt you. Pew pew! Got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Alright, so Hexdrinker was an interesting part of that game, and Wrenn and Six was also an interesting part of the game. That game just played out very interestingly, and I think they lost the game when they forced that Brainstorm pitching the True-Name. Like, the True-Name was such an important card of the matchup, and the Brainstorm just isn't that important, even though we were like both kind of stuck on lands. Anyways. Yeah, Hexdrinker has been actually very impressive so far, even though like we got one picked off by Wrenn and Six. Now, alright, let's see. Thought I had access to a sideboard guide for this. Now, I'm probably going to make some amount of changes for how I want to play the mirror, but I kind of want to see what, like, basically, specifically, I want to see if we're cutting Hexdrinker in the mirror. Doop, 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 doop. And this is the sideboard guide from Maxtortion on Twitter. He's a pretty smart dude. Unlike me, who I'm very dumb, and I'm having trouble figuring out where on here Temur Delver is. So we're just going to start taking guesses. I'm going to take the guess that Hexdrinker isn't that bad. And we're going to play as if it's not. I think all the blasts are good. I think the crop rotation's fine. Force of Negation kind of sucks. Maybe Explosives is okay. Explosives is pretty bad. But if they have Tarmogoyf and we don't, it's like going to be critical to have. So, we're going to try it. And it also makes the Tarmogoyf bigger. So, fuck it. I really dislike Force of Negation and Force of Will. I'm going to leave 2 Force of Wills in. Spell Snare is fine. I don't like Spell Pierce as much. I'm going to cut the Spell Pierces. So I think we're going to do something like this. I saw some of the new lists playing Barbarian Ring. What do you think about that? That actually sounds kind of nice. Something you can like crop rotation for, and you can like keep picking it up with Wrenn and Six because it's basically a Crucible. That actually is pretty smart. The idea is Hexdrinker isn't that great. It gets around graveyard hate. It hurts Goyf. We're going to try this. Delver seems bad on the draw. I don't know. I just think we don't play it on the draw, like, most of the time. I think we'd much rather, like, Cantrip or whatever. Because I think Delvers are still going to be important. Or we're just going to Mold a 5 and die. Never mind. We're going to Mold a 4 and die. Wow. Those hands were all superbly bad. I did not cut a land. Well, we're not forcing somebody. We're not... Like, I guess the Bolt is interesting. How many cards do I have to put on bottom? To put 2 more cards on bottom? Christ. I want the lands. Maybe we just, like, bottom the cantrips, keep the interaction, call it a day. Okay. That was rough. Sounds good to me. You think they have another land? Oh, we have 2 Wastelands? I don't know what this game looks like where we win it, but hopefully we're going to do this. This is normally terrible. If they played to the board, then I think Wasteland is a mistake. But we're so low on cards that I want to try to punk them out. Like, I want to try to, like, exhaust their 2 lands with Wastelands, and then I want to try to win the game that way. Although, unfortunately, they have a fetch. Now, even if they play a second threat here, I'm going to Wasteland it again. Because I want them to have no lands. That is fine. Especially because they're leveling up. That just doesn't play to the board at all. We're going to Wasteland them again, and then we're going to try to bolt it. And we'll see how that works. Alright, well, I have another one. Have another land. This works a lot worse now that they have less lands. I'm sorry, they have more lands in their deck. But, like I said, I'm trying to punk them out. Alright, we probably lost this one. Like, I've wasted my first 3 turns doing this. So, like, we probably just lost. Hello, Kenman. How are you? Yep. I was going to try to, like, bet on them only having 2 lands, and they hadn't cast a cantrip, so I was, like, pretty attracted to it, and they had more than 2 lands, so. They chose not to shuffle, so they probably found another land, too, so we're probably just very, 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 very steep trouble. Yeah, I mean, sure. They play Wrenn and Six, we have to, like, Spell Snare it, probably get dazed and lose. I mean, you're pretty likely to lose on the draw anyway in the Delver Mirror, like your tempo behind, but the fact that they had another land after we wastelanded them twice means that we're very, 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 very likely dead. We mold 2-4. Mold a 4. My hand did the wasteland thing. We tried to punk them out. We failed. We are dead. I'm going to play it out a little longer in case they don't have a second land, and we can, like, maybe, like, bolt this and stabilize, but I just don't think... I don't find that likely when they didn't shuffle off their ponder. I suspect they have a second land again. Yeah. Good one. Now we're going to get dazed. Oh, we didn't get dazed. Oh, nice. Delver secrets. Okay. Well. Lightning bolt. What do they have? Do you think they have Wrenn? I don't know. I don't know what this game looks like where we win it, but I'm going to play the Delver because I think it's going to be important to press this advantage now that we're ahead on the board. We only have 1 card to their 5, but yeah, this looks like a Wrenn. All right, we'll play it. We could draw a blast. Like, I think it was fairly likely they had Wrenn, but if they don't, the upside was high. Another land isn't overly exciting. I guess we're kind of drawing to True-Name. Not really. Because now they're especially undoing our Wastelands. Which is no bueno. We're going to try to... Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's also fine. If we draw Wrenn, we're probably just going to want it to not get countered. Hey, cool. Do we put it on 2 or 1? Probably 1. Oh, wait, scoop portion? Probably. The question is whether or not I want to show them engineered explosives, right? Like, I feel like we're still drawing to True-Name. I don't think we're dead in this game, so I'm gonna keep playing. It's better content anyway. Like, if we can win on this Mold of 4, it's pretty exciting. Alright, well, I mean... No, we don't want them to get the free scries, so let's just go ahead and fetch. Do we have more red cards or green cards? We have more red cards. Crack this, blow both those up. Get our 2 for 1. We're still drawing a blue blast or True-Name, in my opinion, to be in this game. If they True-Name me, we'll concede. Wasteland, I'm not scared of. I'm a little scared of it because they're going to pick it up. But I think we still have a 1 turn window. That Brainstorm is really scary. Yeah. Alright. If we don't draw Hydroblast, let's see. Even if we draw Hydroblast, we're probably actually dead. That Brainstorm is really, really bad for us. So they've just been picking up lands that they can put back. Shadows. Is it true that Magic Pros have 2 social media accounts and everything? One for personal, one for public? Sometimes. I mean, I don't. I guess I don't really count as a professional, but like I don't think like Reed Duke has a private. Sometimes people just like keep their Facebook personal. I've seen that. I've seen like some Magic Pros just keep their like Facebook personal and like all of their like professional stuff is on Twitter. I've seen people that have public and private Twitters. I've seen people that only have one of each account. Like I don't know of some of the MPL people that have public and private. I don't know. It's kind of a crapshoot either way. Bolt just in time to not kill it. All right, yeah, we'll move on. That game went about as bad as it possibly could for us. I still think we played okay. We got pretty hosed for how we played, but I still think we played okay. I like how we've sideboarded. I don't think there's anything I want to change. Might want another Force on the play. Probably not. Daze are still better. Your Facebook is just... It's just public. Your brand, yeah, like it's public. Yeah, my Facebook's public. I think. I don't know. My Facebook, I just like blindly accept Magic players and friend requests, so I assume that's as public as it needs to be. I don't see a universe where I can justify mulliganing this hand. We did our best with how MTGO screwed us. I mean, I don't know that MTGO screwed us. Like, I've definitely mulliganed that low in paper, right? Like, I don't really believe that the shuffle or anything's any different, but we definitely did not have things pan out our way. We're ahead on time, which is nice. All right. Them not putting a land into play is kind of frustrating because it means we can't, like, just... yeah, we'll reveal that. That's actually pretty nice. All of this happening like this is really nice. I'm going to play a Wasteland. I'm going to try to play my Tarmogoyf around Daze. Because we have this Delver. This is a little conservative. I'm giving up this turn of being able to play Tarmogoyf for like, and then have Force backup in order to better utilize Spell Snare potentially and allow myself to Brainstorm next turn around Daze and still like fetch and like play like a red source or whatever. It's like I expect them to play a second fetch land, or if they're gonna play their land, they're gonna like fetch first, do a thing, and like basically try to Lotus Petal their land before I can Wasteland them. They're not gonna get caught. Or if they are, it's really indicative that they have a lot of lands. Like, for instance, this probably means that they have a lot of lands. And I'm actually going to untap and take a draw step and hopefully hit a land. We hit a Hydroblast. I'm going to attack. Bolt. Pyroblast. There's a weird question of whether or not to Hydroblast this. So we could Wasteland them to keep them off True-Name. What does this mean? This means they don't have a Lightning Bolt. This means they have an excess of counter magic. And this also likely means that they have an excess of lands. So their hands is lands and counter magic. Let it happen, in my opinion, then Brainstorm. If we're doing that, then we're not playing a threat. That means that I think or want... Are you considering this over Jeskai, or are you playing it for diverse content? Well, I'm playing it for a sublist, but I'm also considering playing it for this weekend. I'm more likely to play Jeskai Mentor, but I do actually want to give this deck a sanity check. Okay. There's merit to holding a Spell Snare. It's okay to play a mid-rangey plan. I mean, on the play with a Delver already flipped and a Wasteland in play, is that still true? Alright, we'll let this happen. Brainstorm. There's a chance it should get Spell Pierced, though. Yikes. Damn. Alright, well, I'm not casting that anytime soon. We're not casting this turn, so put it back on top. We have access to all our blue cards, and we're going to pass. And then I guess we're going to Tarmogoyf and have a bunch of forces up. Wrenn. I feel incentivized to force this. I think games just become more focused around Wrenn and Six. I mean, sometimes, yeah. I feel incentivized to force this. They have 5 fucking cards in here. That's so many. The thing is, we're just not holding up mana anytime soon, right? Because we just have to play Tarmogoyf, and we know our next 2 draw steps aren't lands. Sucks. We're going to hold the Hydroblast, because it can answer a resolved Wrenn. We're going to hope they spend a 1 mana counterspell on this. Submerge. Well, we knew their hand had counterspells in it. Would force and pitch Daze. I think I'm more likely to pitch Hydroblast, right? Because the Daze can still convert, and I also wouldn't mind having a free counterspell up while I'm playing my Tarmogoyf. And I think I'm going to be able to answer future Wrenn and Sixes as long as this one doesn't resolve. So I think I'm actually going to pitch the Hydroblast. Go down to 2 cards, they're down to 3. Alright. That worked. This lets me play around Spell Snare out of them. It's like this turn we're going to slam a Tarmogoyf and I can play around Spell Snare. Also, if they don't have another land, we have Daze for True-Name. Alright, well that resolved. And now if they have another, what's it called? Another Wrenn, we can just attack it, which is really nice. They do have another Wrenn. Okay. Yeah, no, let's attack it. Okay. Now this is a 4/5. So we can actually, like, brainstorm and try to find a fetch land. And if we do, like, if there's a land in the yard, then our thing's a 4/5 and just kills the Wrenn. Which is nice. So I might have to Wasteland them just to, like, kill this stupid Wrenn, which feels really bad. I would much rather brainstorm into it, but don't really think there's a ton we can do about that. Play your land. Brainstorm. Okay. Cool with me, dog. This is an interesting game. This is a very, very interesting game. Alright, now the brainstorm's completely clear. We're going to do this first. Brainstorm, and we have Daze if they have a 1 mana counterspell for it. a second Wasteland. Yikes. Right, well, we're not casting this anytime soon. And we're not casting this Tarmogoyf this turn, so we'll do that. We could actually still try just Wastelanding them. Alright, well, let's play our Wasteland. Let's Wasteland their red source. So they can't double bolt my thing. Alright. Attack Wrenn. We are pseudo at parity. They fetch another red source. I'm pretty incentivized to Wasteland it. Tarmogoyf. How much do I care about this Tarmogoyf? That's the real question. So we can wait. We can do the Wasteland to fetch Daze trick, and then ponder, and try to find another. But I think I'd much rather just let this happen and play my second Tarmogoyf next turn. Oh, they have Wasteland. That's so disgusting. I got as punished as possible for my line. Gross. Alright, I should have done the Wasteland Daze trick. I suck. Just thought for sure if they had a Wasteland last turn, they would have played it. Alright. And I think we have died. I think that is the death knell on us. If they, like, intentionally hit that Wasteland, they played incredibly well. Yep. Just a pile of threats. I know this card. Dang. We had an interesting game, too. Interesting that they didn't bluff me last turn and are either bluffing me or actually drew the bolt this turn. Or the Wrenn. Yup. It's gotta be land. Alright. Top. Sheffield Library, no. So we can smack for 5. They're not going to block. They hit me for 9. We put them to 5. Play a second Tarmogoyf. I'm at 5. I have to block. This is at 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I have an attack? So if I attack, they don't block. They go to 10. They crack back, put me to 9. Pump it 3 times. Theoretically, put it to 6. Maybe for 9, put me to 5. Then no, I don't have an attack. Which means I can't beat this Hexdrinker at any point. Which means I am just dead, right? So we can hold. I mean, we might as well play the last few turns, but I believe I am just dead. Well, hold on. I can attack, Wasteland them. Jesus. So we can attack, Wasteland them. They can only pump it twice, put it to 5, pump it twice if they don't have another land. And that doesn't kill me. And then we play the second Tarmogoyf. 9 puts me to 5, fetch to 4. The thing is, like, this Hexdrinker is quickly becoming a Progenitus, right? And I need to buy the maximum amount of turns I can, knowing that. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm supposed to Wasteland them, or if I'm supposed to, like, am I supposed to Wasteland them and attack? Am I supposed to Wasteland, like, am I supposed to do anything? What does winning this game look like? I Wasteland them. We don't attack. They untap. They have 2 mana. They go pump, pump to 5. Go. Maybe they attack. They probably don't. Maybe they attack with Tarmogoyf. We block. They bolt me. I die. But I die to a bolt at every point, so we're going to start checking every Tarmogoyf attack from here on out. They attack. I block. Cool. They pump twice. We attack next turn. Play second Tarmogoyf. Pass. They go to 10. We took nothing. The thing goes 6, 7. We have 2 Tarmogoyfs. They don't attack. Pass. We attack with both. They go block one with Tarmogoyf. Take 5. Go to 5. We kill Tarmogoyf with Wrenn. Then they pump it up to 6, and I don't die. Alright, so I think I'm not supposed to attack, but I do Wasteland them. Okay. Jeez. Ugh. And if they draw a land or a bolt for the rest of the game, we're dead, I think. It's like super narrow that we win this game. Alright, well, that's step 1. We're checking. We have to Tarmogoyf check for the rest of the game. Because we don't win the race otherwise. And if they have a bolt, we're dead at any point. So we will concede to a lightning bolt. Delver, that's fine. Alright. We may play the Wrenn this turn, shoot this Delver, attack. What does that do for me? No, we need to get the other Tarmogoyf in play. The thing is, this Delver does chump block very well. Alright, whatever. That's fine. Because they didn't pump their Hexdrinker, they played a creature instead. So we fetch. We grab Trop. We play another Tarmogoyf. A Force. Force bad. 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, well. Yeah, Force is really bad. Because we can't Daze that. Alright. So we need them not to flip, and then we need to draw hot. Flip. Ugh. Snare too. Gross. Red mana. They're just pumping twice, right? Oh, they don't want to draw the snare. I see. Bolt. Yep. We were dead to a bolt. Okay. Strange. That was a complicated match. We had to do a lot of thinking. We slam Wrenn, right? No, I don't. I think slamming Wrenn's wrong. We had to get on the board. We had to start peeling the board to be better than ours. So we obviously needed so much to go right for us to win that game from that position I was in. I was trying to find what a winning line even looked like because we were so far behind. So yeah, we couldn't beat Force either way. We couldn't beat Force. We couldn't beat Bolt. There's a million things we couldn't beat. They had to draw running true names for the rest of the game that they couldn't cast in order for us to win that game. Their hand had to be duds, bad duds. Oh, I don't even know, Spell Pierce into they don't hold up Spell Pierce. They probably had to screw up too. They had to screw up. Their hand had to be duds. Our draws had to be duds. It was not a very likely chance to win, but Magic's all about giving yourself the best chance to win. And I think we probably did something very close to that. So, that's exciting. I'm happy with how we played. I'm sad with the result. Adventures with Tarmo. I wonder if they're playing a Tarmogoyf strategy. What is that? What's going on today? What's going on? We're up a land from normal Delver strategies. Yeah, keep this. Bottom of the thing that's uncastable. Alright. No Delver mirrors, please. Never lucky. Okay. So, Adventures with Tarmo. I'm going to go out on a little limb here and say it is fairly likely. This is the last thing I played with Temur. I bowled 3 to 4 times a match for all 5 matches. Yeah. I mean, the London Mole is very, very powerful, so, it's not even the end of the world, but it is quite shocking. Quite shocking. Ponder. Goof land. I do not know what we're playing against, but I'm pretty sure we want at least one of these goofs and the land. Shuffle, elaborate, new, thank you. Go. We have Daze for their 2-drop. If it is the mirror again. Which remains to be seen. Sounding more likely, although could still be like Sneak and Show. Wow, it's a mirror. I'm shocked. Alright, Daze that. Pick this up. My turn. Alright, I want all of these things. So let's play a Misty Rainforest. If they play another Wrenn and Six, we're going to want to be able to like fetch and line up a, like being able to kill it basically. With Magmatic Sinkhole. So we're going to want to like do some fetching probably. Oh, a nice Wasteland. What is a goofer? Okay, we take those. It's a goofer. So we're going to draw our goofer. We're going to fetch, grab this, play our goofer. And hopefully don't get dazed. We did not get dazed. Good job, chat. Proud of all of you and all the hard work you've put in. Let's see if we get true named. True name around Daze? Gross. No, they have it. Okay. That's fine. All this is fine because we have the Magmatic Sinkhole. I'm fine. Everybody's fine. We're fine. Block. Alright. Unfortunate the way this is played out, but we are going to fetch and slam the other goofer. Drop. Now, they may still have the Daze because they were holding it to try to true name around Wasteland. Oh, they should have a Force of Will. Gross. Okay. Not attacking. Alright, well. That's awkward. I think we're the only one with creature in the yard right now, so we can remove the creature to Magmatic Sinkhole this goofer. But that Brainstorm draw was big. And hopefully we don't die. Alright, fetch is good for us. Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me with this? I mean, let's call their bluff. We're not winning this game if they have, like, removal spells. Puke. Alright. I don't know what winning this game looks like now. It's so frustrating. Red, Sinkhole this. Get rid of creature. Can we cut it off something else? No, we can't. Land. Instant sorcery. Yeet. Kill the goofer. Brainstorm, try to find anything that beats a Wrenn and Six. I'm sorry, this thing, a true name, whatever that card's called. A Bolt plus a Spell Pierce. I'm sorry, a Bolt plus a Tarmogoyf are convincing things that seem like they might beat said thing. Alright. So, yeah, alright. We need them to have bad cards. And we probably need a draw on True Name, but we're not dead. We're not dead. We're going to 12. We got a goofer. And so the goofer will hold their True Name at bay, and we will continue playing Magic. They drew the card they had on top. That's really bad for us. Okay. Yep. Yep. Alright, let's just shoot the thing. Yeet. I don't know why I'm making them do all this. They have no cards in hand. Shoot that. F6. Alright. I just want to make sure they fetch so they can hold it for Brainstorm or whatever. I want to make sure they're drawing blind cards. Alright. Green, blue, goofer. Go. Now this keeps the True Name at bay, and we can draw to our True Names. Or to our Wrenn and Sixes and start Wasteland locking them. Or they can start Wasteland locking me. Do I Brainstorm here? God, how did they draw so well? God, they have Wasteland too. I'm just going to hope to find Force blue card. Spell Snare. What a meme. Okay. Yikes. So what gives us the most looks at specifically a Wrenn or another Tarmogoyf is fetching first, so I'm going to do that. It looks really stupid because we're not going to be able to fetch away the bad cards, but to win this game, we need there not to be bad cards. So let's Brainstorm. These count as bad cards. Game both played hard. We're getting clapped in these Temur Delver mirrors, man. We need to draw more Wrenn and Sixes. They got 2. We got none. Alright. Hydroblast, Pyroblast, Pyroblast, Crop Rotation, maybe Explosives. Still kind of iffy on the Explosives. Still don't like Spell Pierce. Still don't like Spell Pierce. Maybe I should be more interested in Forces than I am. They're not great. The Spell Snares are better. But maybe we should be more interested in Forces than I am. Maybe I should just not bring in the Engineering Explosives. All of these things are very, very astute possibility. Yeah, big F, Teddy, big F. The Barbering idea seems good for the mirror. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. It would be good here. Explosives is just kind of mana intensive. We're going to try not bringing the Explosives and having more Forces. See what that looks like. Because the Forces have been impactful on both sides of this matchup, so... Still only hit 7-8 that worth. I mean, you see how about the 2-drops this game is, though, right? Like, about the Tarmogoyfs and about the Wrenn and Sixes. So, like, Spell Snare, I feels like it has to be worth it. Keep this. I want to be able to hold up the Spell Snare in turn 2, so I'm going to fetch and ponder on turn 1. Like, I don't want to have to ponder for my land on turn 2, so... We're going to hopefully find the land here, and everything's going to be great. We did not. Any order, yes. Alright, now we are susceptible to Wasteland, and may just die to a Wasteland and move on with our lives. Yep. Land. Go. As is the one land Ponders in the mirror. They're going to play a threat. Yep. We're going to have to draw land or die. Sure, maybe they won't have another land. Yeah, I shouldn't have 6. I should at least represent Force of Will. I have Spell Snare and another land. Unlucky. Dang, our hand was so good. As long as we hit a land. Land? Alright. I am uninterested in continuing this game. I think we could take one more draw step and we would maybe be in the game. We're behind, but we may be in the game. I'm just... Ugh. We were not hitting. Both teams played hard. See, this is actually kind of my problem with Delvers. Like, I really don't enjoy the mirrors like I used to. The power level of the individual Magic cards, specifically the 2-drops like Wrenn and Six and Tarmogoyf, and like they just skew the matchup so heavily that like the matchup doesn't feel like a battle of incremental advantages anymore. It feels like a battle of haymakers, which is kind of mid-rangey, I guess, but there's still like the punk out plan of like Daze Wasteland still exists, but there's just like now the threats are so good that you are much less likely to claw your way back in once you actually like find a way back in. Like if you can like Force of Will stuff and like maintain, like just try to maintain like some control over the board with like while you're stumbling on lands a little bit, that used to matter a lot in the Delver Mirror. And now the Delver Mirror is like much more about just like these heavy-handed like powerful Magic cards, and it's just like it's not very fun, and I'm apparently bad at it because I'm 0-2 on it. So like I don't know. I think that's a big downside to me playing Temur Delver this weekend, is it is like the default best deck in Legacy, and if I'm not enjoying the mirrors very much, or I'm not good at the mirrors, I just haven't figured them out or whatever, then my win rate is going to suffer immensely. So I can tell you right now, I'm probably very unlikely to play Delver this weekend, but I do want to keep playing it, get the reps in, and obviously it is a subscriber deck list. My opponent is in the tank on their opening hand. Logan Reinhardt. Why have I heard that name before? I feel like I know who that is. Wow, this hand is great. Yeah, no kidding. This hand is very good. Let's see if it is another Temur Delver mirror. It is Burn. Yikes. I mean, we're gonna play our Delver. I don't know what this could be. This could be Goblins. I don't know what else to play Sunbed Canyon, to be honest with you. They're in the tank on whether or not they're interested in playing against Delver. It's like, I don't know what else you'd be thinking about. No, if our Delver gets bolted for some reason, I think I'm going to let it go. Because I think I really want this Tarmogoyf to get bigger. And I also think I really want to be able to cast this Tarmogoyf. So, and this is what I'm talking about, about how 2-drops make your dazes worse. Like, now I feel like I would, if Tarmogoyf was 1 mana, I would daze a removal spell and instep there on Delver of Secrets. But because it is a 2-drop, I feel I can't. And if they play a Wrenn and Six, we're going to daze the shit out of it. Bolt. Well, I mean, I wasn't bolting that. I mean, I wasn't dazing that on instep, so I'm not bolting that here. I'm not dazing that here. What are we doing? What is a Taiga Sunbaked Canyon strategy? Nile Loam? Is this that, like, Shrek deck? This is not Burn. I don't believe this is Burn. If it's Burn, it has a weird hand. Either way, we're going to play a Goofer and protect it with every counterspell we have. Pretty Trap. Green. Blue. Green. Here's a Goofer. Go. Alright. If they Knight here, we're dazing the shit out of it. Karakas. This has to be some kind of Wrenn and Six based land strategy. If they just play a Wrenn and Six, I think I'm going to try to just attack it. I don't know. I'll have to think a little bit more about that when it comes up. If this is a Swords, we're forcing the shit out of it. Thalia. Leaving up red? What? Why? I mean, if they had left Karakas up, I would snap force this. The fact they didn't means that they're baiting me into not forcing it, and we're going to force it. And then whatever 1-drop they're trying to resolve, we're going to daze. What is this? Oh, it's Zoo. Right. Okay. Sure. Zoo. I fuck with Zoo. Delver Secrets. Alright. I want to play Ponder to grow my Tarmogoyf, so we're going to do that. Oh, no. Oops. Well, this means that I don't get to inform my decisions, because like I saw Force, I'd be more likely to keep it. Top. Oh, wait, no. Crap, I just messed this up. No! Can you undo? No! Top. Well, now I'm going to shuffle because I want to flip my Delver. Crap. And we drew a land. Punch! Exclamation point, punch! Oh, Logan Reinhardt. Yeah. He was at the bachelor party. That's right. I went to a bachelor party. Alright. Hopefully this flips. Flip, damn it. Don't punish me. Flip off like a Brainstorm. Oh, it's a Ponder. Oh, never punished, chat. Never punished. Alright, what can I do to this thing? I need to find a bolt. Alright, well, let's try to find a bolt. Magmatic Sinkhole. We take those. Top. 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 Shuffle, no. We're just going to play this fetch land. Shit. We'll get the flip anyway. Professional. Alright, what do they have on their end? So we can get rid of all the creatures. We're going to be putting instant back. So we can get rid of instant and creature. Oh no, I should have played this land. Dicks. Right? No, I can get rid of a sorcery too. Okay. This works out. I'm such a 5-head. I'm playing so badly. Wait, they have land too, so we can get rid of land. Whatever. Let's get rid of... Actually, we can get rid of both instants, because this is going to put an instant in the yard. And they have land. Cancel. Ponder, Daze, Force, Land, Creature. Red. Okay. So that maintains the Goyf's power and toughness. Luckily, you're playing against Zoo. My opponent is quite talkative. What the actual fucks? Yeah, this is actual Zoo. This is a player I stayed with for an open not too long ago. Went to his bachelor party. I don't know if it was his, but he was at the bachelor party. I don't remember much of that bachelor party. I believe my opponent is dead. They are not interested in continuing this game. MTG Shuffler helped us. Exactly. We finally got a little bit of luck on our side. Engineering Explosives seems great against this deck. Outside of that, I seem to be running low on options. We need to get Spell Pierce out. Oh, we want Karakas for sure. We want Karakas. Do we want Vapor Snag? My sideboard is not prepared for Zoo. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Spell Snare, they have 2 drops. Spell Snare's fine, Daze is fine, Force is fine, True-Name's fine. Crop Rotation? They might be a Wasteland deck. Sure. Like, they had red, so it's between Hydroblast and Crop Rotation. We're gonna board in Crop Rotation. Alright. Zoo, huh? It's real Zoo hours. Is Zoo supposed to be favored against Delver? Does anybody know? Has anybody played against just the Zoo Delver matchup in this decade? Would appreciate your insight. Zoo has no good matchups. It has to beat something, right? It has to beat something. It has to beat something. It's going to be a 1-drop creature. Oh, it's a 2/3. I'm going to hope... My hope this game is that they're going to play a lot of 1-drop creatures, and then I'm going to play an Engineered Explosives on 1. And that's going to work out for me. Ponder. Those are horrible. Yes. I drew another land. This Brainstorm is going to have to be clutch. Two 1-drops. 2 1-drops. Oh, that makes me think not 2 1-drops. Whatever, True-Name Nemesis is going to be good. Is it Thalia? Okay, this is a 1-drop. We take those. We take those. Force of Will. So I have to decide how I want to take this game. I think we're just brainstorming. Brainstorm. Spell Snare, Tarmogoyf, spells. Let's just put a bunch of lands back. Land. Play a land. So we're going to take this hit for 5, and then we're going to deploy a True-Name. Sounds like a plan. And we have Force of Will plus other stuff. We're probably going to want to pick up one of these lands. I feel like we're going to want to pick up one of these lands. We're going to take our hit, take our licks. Instep, huh? Do we want to draw this land? I don't know how many lands we actually want. I have no idea. Let's just fetch it away. I also don't know how many burn spells are in this deck. Wasteland. Alright. Blue, blue. Here's a True-Name Nemesis. I'm not entirely sure how they beat this card. As it says, block all of your things forever. I'm just seeing more reasons to play Barbering. These are all X3s. They're ginormous. What is this? Pyroclasm. Okay. Interesting. My opponent has sent a lot of ha's in chat. A lot of ha's. They seem to not have realized how Pyroclasm works. Well, that's enough for me. Thanks. Alright. They're learning, I guess. Oh, Hand Dried Arbor. Do they have another Dried Arbor? What else do they have? A Goblin Guide. That's fair. Attack. Okay. Daze. Okay, let's block the biggest one. Okay, we're at 8. We're not, like, out of the woods, right? Like, we could still die. Done. Let's play this. And I don't feel incentivized to attack, so we're just going to wait and do it probably on their end step. Alright, that's a lot of lands. It's a Daze. Definitely don't want the Daze. Alright, let's fetch. Go grab a green source. Okay. Brainstorm. I feel incentivized to ponder looking for Wrenn and Six, but I think I'm just going to play... I think we're just going to Wasteland them. Play Tarmogoyf. And attack. And then we're going to hold up Spell Snare, Force, Daze, all these things. Think they have another. They have another Dried Arbor. They do not. They have a basic though. Busted. They drew another land. That's a lot of lands. Path. That puts them to no cards in hand. I guess we force that. Pitching Daze. Go to 6. Puts me in double bolt raid. Oh, they concede? Yeah, they did. Alright, interesting. So we successfully beat Zoo. Can't win a Temur Delver mirror, but we can beat Zoo. Alright, this is the last match of the day. That actually went pretty quick. Like, what is it? It took me about 3-ish hours to get through Traverse Shadow, and we've only been playing this for like about an hour 45, so we were moving through these Delver matchups quick. Much quicker than I expected to be. So, thanks everybody for hanging out. Going into the final match. We are 2-2, playing for the cash. The above breaking even. Truly, this is honestly my experience with Delver too. Like, maybe I'm just not as talented as Rudy Brixa, who can 4-1 a bunch and 5-0 a bunch, but I seem to. When I was testing Delver previously, I just like 3-2'd a bunch, 2-3'd a couple times, and like this kind of has the same vibes. Like we're 2-3ing, 3-2ing. The deck feels powerful, but only okay. Like I don't feel like it's the most broken deck in the format or anything. Like if we're talking about power level wise, this deck just does not feel like it's got the oomph. But Delver Daze Wasteland is my drug, so we are snap keeping the Delver Daze Wasteland. And we have Brainstorm too. This hand's close to the nuts. Could use like a force. Andy Wilson. That name also sounds familiar. Once Upon a Time. Do we just daze this? Like nothing good can come of this, right? God, I have no idea what to do with Once Upon a Time. I'm going to daze it. I'm going to daze it. It's too powerful. Too spook for me. Urborg. Thutsies. Okay. We're going to Wasteland the Urborg. They're probably going to take the Brainstorm? If they take Tarmogoyf, we're definitely Wastelanding. If they do not take Tarmogoyf, we're at least going to think about not Wastelanding. But we're probably still going to Wasteland. There's Dazed a Once Upon a Time. Ugh. Tilt. Alright, flip Delver. Flip Delver. Flip Delver. Dang it. No. Let's Wasteland them. This is likely depths, and I like Wastelanding depths basically as early as possible. Just like make their mana worse. Make them like develop in a way that's not favorable. Alright, well that's bad. Need a bolts. Flip off bolts. Do you want to reveal this card? Do not. Wasteland him again! Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. They can't sack lands to their Elvish Reclaimer if they don't have lands. What you got, Andy S.C. Wilson? Another Urborg, a Elvish Spirit Guide, Sylvan Library. That's really bad. Need to flip this Delver. Yay, we did. Okay. Flipping that Delver was obviously very important. Because it's the only way we're going to be able to pressure the life total with the Sylvan Library. Because they need to recoup some cards. Because their combo is very slow. If we can find a Wasteland, we're in great shape. Hex Mage is fine. Alright, so they can... Does this mean they just have the depths? I may have to Brainstorm this turn. Force of Will? Gross. Yeah, they could just make it next turn, so we need to Brainstorm for a Lightning Bolt. Brainstorm. None of those say Lightning Bolt on them. Pog. Alright, well, we're probably dead. I guess we could have found Wasteland too. Wasteland also would have been live. We're at 11. Yeah, I just don't see what we can do. They'd have to screw up royally for us not to just be dead here. That sucks. Sylvan Library is so good. They should have the depths too. Make it 2020. I don't think I have any outs to that in the main deck games. And they have Sejiri Step held up. Alright, we're done. No! Darn. Maybe I should have held the Wastelands. I mean, I figured being on the play with the Delver... Like, obviously not flipping the Delver didn't help, but, like, being on the play with the Delver would be able to get there. But the Elvish Spirit Guide for Sylvan Library kind of caught us with our pants down a little bit. Elvish Spirit Guide means that they're turbo depths instead of traditional, like, medium depths. Although they do have Library in the main. Weird. We're going to bring in this Vapor Snag. I like the Force. And Cindervines may be worth considering because they have multiple things that you can blow up. Although it's not as important for this deck. Surgical Extraction may be good because you can Wasteland a Depths. Just like, they may just be like, okay, let that happen and you can Surgical it. Sinkhole is not great. Spell Pierce is pretty bad. Spell Snare is fine. They have Library Scrying and Hex Mage that it hits. Daze's forces. I don't know how many Force Negations I want. Don't know how many Lightning Bolts I want. That kills the Elvish Reclaimer and kills them. Which is nice. Grudge for Needle. It's probably a good call. Probably a good call. True-Name's slow. Probably going to cut those. Wrenn and Six is probably the best card in our deck. Maybe we'll get like a True-Name. I mean, sorry, Tarmogoyf too. Like, just like shave really low on threats because like this is the card that matters for the most part. Should like a Daze. I don't hate this kind of configuration. We have a lot of like the 2-drops are really important in this matchup, and so I'm just gonna try something like this. I don't know. This is a matchup that I'm not 100% confident on. If I'm looking at the Sideboard guide, they want to cut the True-Names, a Tarmogoyf. Hey, I got that right. And they want to cut 2 bolts. I don't want to cut 2 bolts. There's Elvish Reclaimer. Oh, we have the Karakas already. That's insane. Alright, let's keep this. We're going to play the Delver on turn 1, I think. Maybe we'll play the Hexdrinker. I don't know what equates to more damage over time, but it's my only blue card. Let's play the Hexdrinker. Maybe there's a universe where I force. This is like a weird play pattern, but I feel incentivized to hold the blue card. Paddle, okay. Black. The rest me. Okay. They have to take crop rotation, I think, because I can crop rot for a Wasteland like at any point. This hand's going to be tough for them to beat. The natural Karakas along with crop rotation for Wasteland is tough. Oh, okay. What are you doing? I'm confused. Hey Tiff, how are you, girl? How was your stream? Thanks for the raid. Oh, that is so good. Because we can crop rotate for Wasteland next turn. Ooh, yeah. Let's play Islet. Red, boop. Plus, pick up Misty. And we'll defend. Yeah. Yeah, let's attack. Let's attack. Also, what were you streaming? Because you've been streaming some variety of stuff as well. Streaming some Magic as well as some other games. Thespian Stage, you got a Pithing Needle. Okay. There's like 3 things you want to name. You want to name Wasteland, Karakas, and Wrenn. Probably have to name Wasteland. Karakas. Okay. We take those. Okay. Let's play the... So we're going to float a blue. I think we're going to just like destroy this Islet. I don't see a reason to keep it in play. I guess it draws a card. Sure. Okay. Green. Crop rotation. This for Wasteland. Play Delver. This, go grab Wasteland. Wasteland you. Pick up the Wasteland. Play Delver Secrets. Fetch, go grab a Trop. This might have been missequenced left and right, but whatever. We eventually kind of got something like there. Start attacking. And we have a Wasteland thing going with Wrenn here. And they're going to have to hold up Elvish Reclaimer the whole time? Or they have Abrupt Decay, which they do. Okay. Still not in great shape because I'm still going to Wasteland them again, but I guess they're better off. Spell Snare, reveal that. Sacrifice Wasteland. This puts the second land in the yard. We can pump this twice and we have Daze. Level up. Beep. Level up. Beep. Attack for 7. We have them dead in 3. This is just going to be an incredibly hard game to win. Yeah, they don't want to play anymore. That's fair. Our hand was great. Our hand got even better because we drew the actual perfect, aka the Wrenn and Six, and we converted. So that was a satisfying game to play out. A very, very satisfying game. I see now why they took Force of Negation, though, because we had the needle. Maybe we're supposed to bring in Cindervines for the other needle, too. Or in, like, Engineered Explosives. Engineered Explosives on 1 would have been disgusting there. Just pick up the Elvish Reclaimer and the Pithing Needle. The thing is, I think I'd rather fight on the Force axis. Ugh. Green threats. Plus only red mana. Seems like a mulligan to me. No cantrip. No green land, but we have Wrenn and Six and crop rotation. So we could put a Force on bottom and hope to draw. Like, we're drawing live to any cantrip, any green land, to make this hand actively good. Do we take the chance on this one? I think we do. The upside of this hand's really high. I'm going to keep this. Like, we have the Force for any, like, shenanigans they're going to do on turn 1. Like, they are Turbid up stack, so we're probably going to have to use the Force. Use the Force. Discard spell. That is fine. Our hand, yeah, like, I think our hand progresses really well against their deck with what we have to work with here. I mean, the green land's the nut draw, but like I said, I think cantrips also count as fine draws. Even Wasteland, I think I'm fine drawing. There's just like plenty of fine draws. I'm willing to accept maybe that this hand was not good enough because there's just better hands, but having the crop rotation too is just so big, I feel like. Blue card. Oh, green land is perfect. Green Hexdrinker. Go. No, another discard spell. That's a tilt. Oh, it's Pithing Needle. That's fine. Yeah, see, like they have to name Karakas, and we can just crop rot for a Wasteland. Fine by me, dog. So we can hold up Force Negation. We could also just put Wrenn into play. I don't want it to get Wastelanded without any kind of equity, so I think I'm going to play this and just level up my thing twice. If they have Dryad Arbor, I don't want to run it into Dryad Arbor. So I think I'm going to not attack. Although if I'm trading my Hexdrinker with our land, I think that's a good trade. So I'm actually going to make this trade. I'm going to do that. Yeah, they're not going to fetch a Dryad Arbor. Sometimes the turbo versions play Dryad Arbor to play around. Let's play around Edicts, but Hex Mage. Okay. God, they have the depths too. Oh, that's so bad. Okay, well, I was like, surely we could Force Negation the crop route. Like, surely I don't have naturally it too, but okay. We got a few looks. Ponder. Oh, what's up? What's up? Shopping library? No thanks. Excuse me, this is in my way. Could you please move it? Thank you. All talent, chat. All talent. Plague Engineer. Plague Engineer. Alright, fine, you got me. Just kidding, I don't really care. So we can Brainstorm. Oh, hey, we had a Tarmogoyf. That's pretty good. Sure. Let's put back whatever 2-drop we're not going to play this turn, aka the Wrenn and Six. So we'll put back Ponder. I guess, no, we want to hide stuff, right? So yeah, we'll put back Ponder, Wrenn, play Tarmogoyf. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to play Tarmogoyf. This will defend our Wrenn from the Plague Engineer. We have Force for any shenanigans they have going on. And then we can Wasteland them twice. Pithing Needle. Okay, that has to get forced. Yep, we got to force that. Ugh. Named Snake. The old Plague Engineer naming Snake. So many needles. Alright, let's go ahead and Wasteland that. Go to combat. Let the mana happen. Green, red. Here's a Wrenn. Plus up. Target Wasteland. So there's a question on whether or not we hold up Wasteland or we Wasteland their green source. Like, I don't know what gets them out, but they obviously don't have crop rotation, or they would have done it there, actually, right? So, yeah, let's just do it again. Like, if they had crop rotation, I think they would have used it. Oh, they have decay? Ugh, gross. Okay. Well, this means we play on. But we have crop rotation for a Wasteland at any point in time. Ponder. Let's look for a bolt for this Plague Engineer. Yeah, shuffle. Alright. Oh, I used the green. I'm such a 5-head. Woof, we are not playing well. But hopefully the fact they don't have green mana is going to come up here. Also joined another Wrenn and Six to just get back to the whole Wastelanding thing. Pretty big fan of the whole Wastelanding thing. Alright. Alright, now we need to definitely hold up this green. Don't be a 5-head. Ancient Grudge, also a solid draw. A lot of good draws in our deck, actually, honestly. Rip 5/6 Tarmogoyf. Oh, there's Dark Depths, so we can just Surgical Dark Depths. So we'll just do that other than their draw step. Never mind, that's a way better plan. Big fan of the Surgical and Dark Depths. Ugh. Surgical Dark Depths. Eat. Oh, I could have paid mana! Punch! Their hand is Once Upon a Time, Sylvan Library, Thoughtseize. Let's get Dark Depths out of here. Alright, and let's snip this. Alright. Don't know what we're going to do with it, but we have it. And let's quickly scan. What do we got? We got a Ghost Quarter, Not of This Worlds, which now do nothing. Pithing Needle, one more Plague Engineer, some Elvish Spirit Guide, some Elvish Reclaimers, Thoughtseize, Hexmage. Just like bad beats is their game plan. They have some decays. They have a Thoughtseize in hand. Okay. Alright, you may proceed. Let's view our sideboard. We have both true names. Alright, so we can afford to actually just crop rot for a Wasteland and cut them off. Oh, the mana. Oh, I didn't look to see. Do they have any green sources left? They have one forest. Okay. Surgical deck namesake card. Don't hate to see it. Don't hate to see it. Yeah, there's merit to like Wastelanding them, I think. I don't know if they have actually 3 drops. Oh, well, that seals it. Pick up Wasteland. Okay, he's done. They're done. The Andy's done. They don't want to play no more. Very fair assessment. All right, we got the mediocre 3-2. Got to beat Turbo Depths, not Medium Depths. Got to beat Zoo, and we beat Sneak and Show and lost both mirrors we played. One was close, the other was not. Yeah, I think that this was a lesson in... I just feel so much more comfortable with Jeskai Mentor. Now, Hexdrinker did look very good. There were some spots where it died to Plague Engineer, it died to Wrenn and Six in multiple spots, but there was multiple times where we needed a threat on turn 1 to make our Dazes a little better, and it served that purpose well. So I think this does a good job bridging the gap between, like, having a terrible 1-drop that isn't Nimble Mongoose, which is completely unplayable, and having, like, a 2-drop that's just, like, too clunky to play. And so I think Hexdrinker's kind of one of those cards that's like the best bad card we can play. Maybe they could be like Hooting Mandrills, but that just has so much tension with our powerful 2-drops and like makes Graveyard Hate even better against this deck. So being able to mitigate that a little bit with a threat that like doesn't get hosed by like a Rest in Peace is really powerful. And I think that Hexdrinker probably does actually have a spot in this deck, despite how stupid it can look in the face of Wrenn and Six and Plague Engineer sometimes, because just the 1-drop, being a 1-mana spell, is just so big. The sideboard I have some qualms with. We played against no graveyard decks, really. I only brought in Surgical against the combo decks because it was like a thing to have. We don't have any removal spells out of the sideboard. We don't have any like, what's it called? We don't have any removal spells. We don't have any additional like land hate of any kind. I don't know. Like, a lot of our sideboard cards feel overly narrow, which is not something I'm used to out of Delver either. Yeah, I mean, the deck's powerful. The deck's powerful. It can be configured a lot of different ways, but in general, I guess, I don't know, the mid-rangey nature of it, I guess, means it doesn't click with me, because I cannot seem to do better than 3-2 in a league with this deck to save my life. I don't know how. I just, every league I play with this deck, I 3-2. Now, I will admit, I did not play like an absolute galaxy brain genius across that league. There's spots I was proud of how I played, and there were spots I was not proud at all about how I played. And so, Delver is a deck of a bunch of tiny edges, and if I'm going to play like that much of a donkey, maybe I should just not be touching Delver. But my other choice is Jeskai Mentor, and that deck has just as many decision points and punishes you just as hard for playing like a donkey. But I seem to just understand that deck more, and I top-aided the Legacy Challenge last weekend with it, and it felt very powerful there. And, I mean, a lot of people are saying that deck's pretty bad, so I was really nervous about it, and people are hyping up Delver a lot. And so, I don't know. I just can't seem to click with Delver, and Jeskai Mentor it also feels medium, but clicks more with me, and so I'm probably playing that in Philly. And this deck, although powerful, I think I'm going to hold off until I get more reps with it or something, or until it feels like it's a deck that I am comfortable bringing to a tournament. So that'll do it. Thank you very much for Tropical Bob for the sublist. I got to play some Temur Delver on stream. I always love getting to play a little bit more Legacy. Thank you all for hanging out. For those of you that stuck with me this whole time, we were live for 5 hours. That's a very long time, so I really appreciate your support. If you are watching here on Twitch, you've not yet hit that follow button, please do so. It's the easiest way to support me on Twitch, and we'll let you know when I go live. If you're watching on YouTube and you've enjoyed my content, please hit the subscribe button. It's the easiest way to support me on YouTube. Doesn't cost you a dime, and we'll let you know when I post more videos. Another way you can support me, Team Nova, and this stream is to support my sponsors, which you can see strewn about across the screen. In the top center of the screen there, you can see the Mage logo, the Introspective logo. They both sponsor Team Nova. Mage is a mobile app company that produces software for Magic the Gathering. They have the best mobile app on the market, in my opinion, and I believe it is available on all platforms. Lets you scan your collection. You can buy cards, look up cards. I mean, it just lets you do everything you need. I think it even has a life counter. It just has everything you need in the Magic the Gathering app, and the software is smooth, and they're very, very receptive to any feedback you have. And so you can find them on various social media platforms and talk with them about that. Check out Mage, free to download the app. They have Mage Market coming soon, which is really exciting. And yeah, they're almost done with the beta testing on that. So hype! You'll see a lot of posts from me as soon as that releases, because I'll be doing what I can to help promote that. Another way you can support Team Nova is support Introspective, which is a clothing company that supports many of the teams in the SUG Tour, including Team Nova. They made our jerseys and some of the various apparel you're going to see Team Nova members sporting, especially as we move into wintertime. We got some interesting hoodies that we ordered. Got lots of different cool designs on them, and you'll see Team Nova members repping those. You can save some money on some clothing with them as well using code Team Nova MTG. You can save 10% on their website. Link below, code there for you for nice and easy for you to copy paste. Check it out. The description below if you're on YouTube and the panels below if you're on Twitch. So check out Introspective. They're awesome. Their clothes are great. I actually have multiple pieces of articles of their clothing, and I quite like it. Other ways you can support Team Nova is support the sponsors you can see beneath my face here. Start off, they got hipstersthecoast.com is the content production website that Team Nova writes for. You can find my articles as well as many of the other members of Team Nova. You can find their articles on Hipsters of the Coast. You can also find plenty of other writers, podcasts, and some merchandise for you to check out on their website. Their stuff looks really good, and I highly recommend you check them out. It doesn't cost you a dime to read some content, maybe get a little bit better at Magic, and support Team Nova. So check out hipstersthecoast.com. You can also support Team Nova by supporting Inklin Customs, which is an artist that follows around a lot of the Magic tournaments, such as the SCG Tour and the Magic Fests. She does the custom tokens for all of Team Nova, and she'll be doing the artwork for the stream for our emotes and our sub badges as soon as those get finished up. She also does my token, which you can see to the right of my face here, as well as the Team Nova logo and our playmats. So she's done a lot of work with Team Nova. Really happy with all the work she's done. You can check out some of her work on her website below. All her prices are reasonable. If you're looking to get a custom token, you can check her out at some of the various events she's at. And her prices are very fair, and she's awesome to work with. So I highly recommend you check her out there. Next up, we got The End Games, which is a store in Charlottesville, local to one of our members. They let us rent and buy cards at a discount. You can too, using code TeamNovaMTG. You can save 10% on your singles with them and support a local game store that supports a Magic team. So no downside there. By the way, Maddle Blouse, thank you much for the follow. I really appreciate it. So check out The End Games. They're fantastic, and we appreciate their support. And last but not least, we have ManaTreaters.com, which is the rental service I'm using to play all these various decks for you. I played 2 different decks with Wrenn and Sixes tonight, and I would not be able to just drop money and buy Wrenn and Sixes at the price they're at on Moto otherwise. So they do enable me to play decks I otherwise would not be able to. So I highly recommend you check them out if you're looking to play a variety of decks, test some tech out, want to save a little bit of money on Moto. You can use their service, save 15% on your first 3 months using code TeamNovaMTG. There's a link below to get started. You can various different plans that work for whatever financial situation you are in. And highly recommend you check out ManaTreaters. They're awesome. Been sponsored by them since been using them since before I was sponsored by them. So highly recommend you check them out. Thank you all for your support, and I will see you next week.